mean, the first question obviously is around COVID-19. So what has happened is we are talking to various companies, and so I would be very keen to know about Book My Show in the Middle East region. So what has happened is before we had a normal, right? And then thanks to the COVID-19 crisis and lockdown, the way the businesses operate, the way they use their technology, they are now shifting to the new normal. So if you can tell the way Book My Show operated, what was the normal and what has been the journey of the last few months, and what do you think the new normal for you will look like?
Sure. So, we are across 6 markets, and globally, pre-COVID, we were a leading out-of-home entertainment company, right? And we have a huge audience in India. Globally, we sell over 15 million tickets every month. We work with most leading cinema chains, both in India and globally. And we are a leading live entertainment player, where we not only ticket, but we also promote concerts, right? And some of our marquee live events have been bringing Cirque to India for Bazaar, promoting the Guns N' Roses, promoting the U2 concert last year, right, in Mumbai, which had almost over 40,000 people, bringing Disney's Aladdin to India. And the general premise has been entertaining people, right, bringing the best in live entertainment to people, in venues, out of home, right? Similarly, in Indonesia and in the Middle East, we've grown significantly. In Indonesia, we work with over 1,000 cinema screens. We promote. We've become one of the leading live events promoters there. We promoted shows like Guns N' Roses and The Script and Katy Perry, Ed Sheeran, Boyzone. So numerous live acts. And in the Middle East, we took on an approach where we partnered with the Coca-Cola Arena, which is the leading arena in the Middle East, the only world-class arena in the Middle East. And we have we promoted over 8 shows there, and we've grown a business of over $5 million and become the number 2 entertainment player in a short period of time. Now, pre-COVID, our raison d'etre was to bring entertainment into people's lives out of home. Now it has changed to bringing entertainment into people's homes. And we've done this via launching a live streaming product where entertainers are performing live. We've launched this is across different genres: music, comedy, performing arts, theatre, right? And we launched in the Middle East our first comedy IP called Haha Habibi, where we had 4 of India's leading comedians, Veer Das, Anshu Moore, Amit Tandon and Jiveshu Ahluwalia, all take part on a live platform. We are now working on bringing large event IPs online, like Social Nation, like larger music festivals online, right? In the Middle East, we think that the market is set to open, set to recover. Cinemas are already open. Cinemas are already open. They already have 30% occupancy. Things are coming back, and attractions are also opening. Plus, live events are also set to come back. To answer your question, the new normal, I see it as one where there's a hybrid existence of both physical and virtual. And we've seen this where when it comes to virtual events, what we have seen is that this concept of appointment viewing, where people come on at 8-9 p.m. and come and watch something, that happens, that exists. So people are coming on and listening to content and taking part in content, and this continues to exist.
One thing about the new normal they're talking is these virtual events.
Yes.
Right, they talk. So, like in the olden days, it was pretty simple. You had cinema halls, you had a box office. So, I think sites like Book My Show just replaced the box office. And but now what is happening is the amount of virtual events that they're talking, They're talking of like even sporting events, like you talked of concerts. So can you just tell us about what kind of virtual events if in the categories that are coming up, and is it any way different from the back end? Like in a cinema hall, it's pretty clear, right? You have this much number of seats, these are the timings. But in stadiums, virtual events, it is not fixed format. So how, if you can just tell us, is what kind of virtual events you're getting, and how do you go about organizing them from your digital point of view?
Sure. So, I think for a virtual event, depending upon the genre, you need to first understand whether you want two-way connectivity or you want only one-way connectivity. And they say in the field of comedy, people want two-way connectivity, where on the other side you have the audience also responds to the comics, the comedian feels alive. And that's the great thing about our platform, where and Haha Habibi, which was enable two-way connectivity between the audience and the communicator, right? For music, maybe that's not required, right? So we've had numerous music shows, right, and also more being planned. One of our biggest IPs globally, Sunburn, we've just announced a virtual edition, right, and that is going to be the first. That's coming up in 2 months, in fact, right, and that's calendar through the year of some of the best EDM acts. Tomorrowland, a lot of the big music festivals have actually announced virtual editions in this period. And we've been surprised by the numbers, actually quite strong, with production costs being significantly lower.
So going forward, you think virtual events could be like as big as the film industry? What kind of the market growth do you see?
Hard to say, because the market is it's still extremely early days, right? If COVID continues to be an issue, then yes, we continue to see virtual events will continue to proliferate, because people need some form of release and some form of content. There is some user behavior also moving to TVOD, right? And there are also newer technologies like augmented reality, virtual reality, which are also being looked at, and we are evaluating these while we have not yet taken any decisions on this.
So do you see another thing which I hear from major players, that AR, VR, MR is going to be the next big thing that you could have. So I mean, you're saying inquiries are there. Is there some forward movement on that?
Yeah. So I think AR in terms of AR, with bringing a hologram of an artist onto stage, like a Michael Jackson hologram or a Tina Turner hologram, which exists because the artists are no more, right? That has been on even pre-COVID. But with that, the challenge is that the social distancing norms with the audience remains, right? While it is easier to have a hologram. Now, are there newer technologies? Can the price point of VR glasses come down to less than to an affordable price point, such that people don't have to think twice before taking part? Or is there a way that one can appreciate VR without AR VR glasses? I think these are the questions to contemplate.
And another thing, people would be curious to know, everybody is watching OTT at home, but cinema watching is an experience everyone wants to get back to it as soon as possible.
We have no doubt that the cinemas will come back. We have no doubt that even for production houses, we have no doubt that it will come back. We have no doubt that soon when the content improves here in the Middle East as well, it will come back.
Okay. And so it's like there are certain things like, social distancing norms and sanitizers that the cinema hall is doing. But from your end, in ticket booking, do you have to do social distancing in the hall? We'd be curious what kind of...
That is determined by government norms.
Okay.
For instance, in UAE, in Dubai, they have government norms that have come back saying that it needs to be 30%.
30%, okay. So this, if you can reveal this 30%, then is that proving to be popular? Are your shows going at 30%? And what are the kind of, if I may ask, because there is no data anywhere else, what are the kind of movies? What are the kind of shows in the morning, evening? What kind of things are gaining popularity right now?
Content that there is content which the cinemas have, right? And there is a range of content. We are seeing we're seeing in fact, during the Eid and so on and so forth, we saw people coming back. And when content changes, such that now new content starts releasing, it will certainly come back. You are right in what you said, that the experience is something that is unmatchable at home.
Yeah, and also another thing, if you can tell, it's like you have dealt with the Indian market, you have also dealt with the Indonesian market. What is the Middle East market looks like? I assume it would be a high growth market because Saudi Arabia has opened up theater halls and all that. So if you had to look at the Middle East market, what are the peculiarities? How is it different from the rest of the markets? What are the kind of movies?
So the Saudi Arabian market the market is unique because there's not been cinema content in the market for the longest period of time, which is what the opportunity is, right? And hence cinema halls have been running there at almost 90% occupancy in the past. So I think that the virtual market, the virtual life, the entertainment market virtually, which an IP is coming out virtually, is something that we feel could have some traction moving forward.
Okay.
Which is what we have seen already in the Middle East, right?
Okay.
And then subsequently, basis the market and basis how the market evolves, Book My Show as an entertainment brand has a large audience, right? So there will be different entertainment products and platforms on how to engage this audience.
Okay.
Without revealing too much.
Okay. And also maybe you can tell us about Book My Show Middle East. When did you launch it? How did it come about? And what has been your journey so far? I think that would be interesting before we go for.
So the Book My Show Middle East came out. It launched in March last year, right? We've grown to over $5 million in a short period of time, right? Okay. We've promoted shows like Westlife 1975, the first Egyptian music festival called Why Not Mazika, right? And we've also ticketed shows like of the scale of A.R. Rahman, right? And we've seen that the Dubai market, the UAE market is a high ticket price market, which makes it interesting, right? And we've also seen that it has a unique diaspora, which is Filipinos, Westerners and Arabs, right? Plus the Indian audience. So all of these comprise a very good entertainment mix. Plus the expo was supposed to happen this year, now that's rescheduled to next year, which is again a huge opportunity for all Indians, right? And we see that, and Abu Dhabi is also coming up. Abu Dhabi has a new arena called the Etihad Arena. Abu Dhabi has various attractions like the Louvre.